Now, you might be thinking, Jim, that sounds a bit harsh. But let me tell you, it's one of the most liberating realizations you can come to. When you truly understand that nobody cares, it frees you to care about yourself, to invest in yourself, and to build the life you've always dreamed of. Let's break this down. When I say nobody cares, I'm not saying people are cruel or indifferent. What I mean is that everyone is the star of their own movie. They're caught up in their own struggles, their own dreams, their own day-to-day lives. They might care about you in passing, but they're not losing sleep over your problems or your unfulfilled potential. And you know what? That's okay. It's more than okay. It's fantastic. Because it means you don't have to live your life trying to please others or meet their expectations. You're free to chart your own course, to define success on your own terms. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. With this freedom comes responsibility. If nobody else cares, then it's up to you to care. It's up to you to work hard. It's up to you to focus on yourself and your growth. This is where the second part of our message comes in: work hard and focus on you. These aren't just empty words. They're a call to action, a blueprint for success in any area of life. Let's talk about working hard. Now, I know hard work has become something of a cliche. We hear it so often that it's lost some of its meaning. But let me tell you, there's no substitute for putting in the effort. Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who work. But here's the key, and this is crucial. It's not just about working hard. It's about working hard on the right things. It's about working hard on yourself. You see, many people work hard their whole lives but never get ahead. Why? Because they're working hard for someone else's dreams, someone else's goals. They're climbing someone else's ladder only to find that it's leaning against the wrong wall. That's why we need to focus on you. Your dreams, your goals, your growth, your potential. When you focus on yourself, you're making an investment. And let me tell you, it's the best investment you'll ever make. Because unlike stocks or real estate or gold, you can't lose yourself. You can't be taxed on yourself. You can't have yourself stolen or devalued. Every bit of time, energy, and resources you put into yourself pays dividends for the rest of your life. Whether it's learning a new skill, developing a positive habit, or overcoming a personal challenge, the returns on self-investment are immeasurable. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, but Jim, isn't focusing on myself selfish? Shouldn't we be thinking about others? Let me clear this up right now. Focusing on yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. It's like what they tell you on airplanes: put on your own oxygen mask before assisting others. You can't pour from an empty cup. By investing in yourself, by growing and developing, you become better equipped to help others, to contribute to your community, to make a positive impact on the world. But here's the thing, and this is important: nobody is going to do this for you. Nobody is going to knock on your door and say, "Hey, I noticed you're not living up to your potential. Let me help you with that." No, my friends, if you want to grow, if you want to improve, if you want to reach your full potential, you've got to make it happen yourself. You've got to be willing to put in the work when nobody's watching. You've got to be willing to sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term gain. Let me give you an example. Say you want to start a business. Nobody cares that you have this dream. Your friends and family might offer some encouragement, but at the end of the day, they're caught up in their own lives. They're not going to write your business plan for you. They're not going to make those first sales calls. They're not going to put in the long hours to get your venture off the ground. That's all on you. You've got to care enough about your dream to put in the work. You've got to be willing to learn, to fail, to pick yourself up and try again. You've got to be willing to do what others won't, so you can live like others can't. And here's the beautiful thing. When you start doing this, when you start investing in yourself and working towards your goals, something magical happens. People start to notice. They start to care. Not because you're seeking their approval, but because they're inspired by your growth, your dedication, your success. You become a beacon of what's possible when someone decides to take control of their life, to work hard, to focus on their own development. And that, my friends, is how you make a real difference in the world. Now, let's talk about focus. In today's world, focus is more valuable than ever. We're bombarded with distractions from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep. Social media, emails, notifications, they're all vying for our attention, all trying to pull us away from what really matters. But here's the truth: your focus determines your reality. What you consistently give your attention to is what will grow in your life. If you're constantly focused on other people's lives, on celebrity gossip, on the latest social media trends, guess what? That's what your life will revolve around. But if you focus on your goals, on your personal growth, on developing your skills and expanding your knowledge, that's what will flourish in your life. This is why it's so crucial to guard your focus like the precious resource it is. Be intentional about where you direct your attention. Ask yourself, is this bringing me closer to my goals? Is this helping me grow? Is this a valuable use of my time and energy? If the answer is no, then it's time to refocus. It's time to redirect your attention to what truly matters, you and your personal development. Now, I can hear some of you saying, but Jim, I don't have time to focus on myself. I'm too busy with work, with family, with all my responsibilities. I get it. Life is busy. We all have commitments and obligations. But let me ask you this: can you afford not to invest in yourself? Can you afford to let your potential go untapped? Can you afford to reach the end of your life and realize you never became the person you could have been? The truth is, you don't need hours every day to focus on your personal growth. Even small, consistent efforts can lead to tremendous results over time. It's not about making drastic changes overnight. It's about making small, positive choices day after day, week after week, year after year. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier to read a book that will expand your mind. Maybe it's using your lunch break to learn a new skill online. Maybe it's turning off the TV in the evening to work on a personal project. These small pockets of time, when used consistently and intentionally, can lead to massive growth over the long term. Remember, nobody cares about your growth as much as you do. Nobody else has as much to gain from your success as you do. So it's up to you to make it a priority. It's up to you to carve out the time, to put in the effort to stay focused on your personal development. Now, let's address another objection I often hear. Some people say, but Jim, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to focus on. My answer to that is simple: start anywhere. The most important thing is to start. Pick an area of your life you want to improve: your health, your relationships, your career, your finances, and start there. Read a book on the subject, take an online course, find a mentor who's achieved what you want to achieve. The specific starting point doesn't matter as much as the act of starting itself. Because once you begin investing in yourself, you'll gain clarity. You'll discover what resonates with you, what excites you, what challenges you in the right ways. And from there, you can refine your focus. Remember, personal growth is a journey, not a destination. There's no finish line where you can say, well, I'm done growing now. There's always more to learn, always ways to improve, always new heights to reach. And that's the beauty of it. When you embrace this mindset of constant growth and self-improvement, life becomes an adventure. Every day brings new opportunities to learn, to challenge yourself to become a little bit better than you were yesterday. Now, I want to address something important here. When I say focus on you, I'm not advocating for selfishness or disregard for others. Far from it. What I'm advocating for is self-responsibility. It's about taking ownership of your life, your choices, your growth. You see, when you truly focus on your own growth and development, you become better equipped to help others. You become more capable, more resourceful, more resilient. And these qualities don't just benefit you. They benefit everyone around you. Think about it. When you improve your health, you have more energy to be there for your loved ones. When you advance in your career, you're better able to provide for your family and contribute to your community. When you develop your mind, you bring new ideas and perspectives to your interactions with others. In other words, by focusing on you, by working hard on your own growth, you're not just improving your own life, you're improving your capacity to make a positive impact on the world around you. But here's the catch, and it's an important one: you can't wait for the perfect conditions to start. You can't wait until you have more time, more money, more support, because let me tell you, those perfect conditions will never come. There will always be reasons to put off your personal growth. There will always be excuses for why now isn't the right time. But if you're serious about reaching your potential, about becoming the best version of yourself, you got to start where you are with what you have. Use the time you have, even if it's just 15 minutes a day. Use the resources at your disposal, even if it's just a library card or a free online course. Use the energy you can muster, even if you're tired from a long day of work. Because here's the truth, small, consistent efforts compound over time. Just like how a small amount of money can grow into a fortune with compound interest, small daily investments in yourself can lead to tremendous personal growth over the years. Think about it. If you read just 10 pages of a good book every day, you'd read about 18 books in a year. If you learn just one new thing about your field every day, imagine how much more knowledgeable and valuable you'd be in your career after a year. These small daily actions might not seem like much in the moment. You might not see dramatic results right away. But over time, they add up to significant change. They shape your habits, your skills, your knowledge, your character. And that's where the magic happens, because while nobody might care about your daily efforts to improve yourself, they will certainly notice the results. They'll notice when you start achieving your goals. They'll notice when you start radiating confidence and competence. They'll notice when you start making a bigger impact in your work and in your relationships. But here's the key, you're not doing it for their notice or approval. You're doing it for you. You're doing it because you care about becoming the best version of yourself. You're doing it because you understand that your growth, your success, your fulfillment, it's all in your hands. Now, let's talk about something that often holds people back from focusing on themselves and working hard, fear of failure. Many people avoid pushing themselves, avoid taking risks, avoid stepping out of their comfort zone because they're afraid of failing. But here's the truth about failure. It's not your enemy. It's your teacher. It's your stepping stone to success. Every failure, every setback, every mistake is an opportunity to learn, to grow, to become better. Think about it. Has anyone ever become successful without failing along the way? Has anyone ever achieved greatness without facing setbacks and obstacles? Of course not. Failure is part of the process. It's how we learn. It's how we refine our approach. It's how we develop resilience and perseverance. So instead of fearing failure, embrace it. See it as feedback, not as a final verdict on your abilities or your worth. When you fail at something, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow? This shift in perspective from seeing failure as something to be avoided to seeing it as a valuable part of your growth journey can be incredibly liberating. It frees you to take risks, to try new things, to push your boundaries. Because you know that even if you fail, you're still moving forward. You're still growing. And remember, nobody cares about your failures as much as you do. Most people are too caught up in their own lives to dwell on your mistakes or setbacks. So don't let the fear of what others might think hold you back from taking action, from putting yourself out there, from working hard towards your goals. Now, let's address another crucial aspect of focusing on yourself and working hard, discipline. Discipline is what bridges the gap between your goals and your achievements. It's what turns your intentions into actions, your dreams into reality. But here's the thing about discipline. It's not about perfection. It's not about never making mistakes or never having off days. It's about consistency. It's about showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. You see, motivation is fickle. It comes and goes. Some days you'll wake up feeling ready to conquer the world. Other days you'll struggle to get out of bed. But discipline is what carries you through those low motivation days. It's what keeps you moving forward when the initial excitement of a new goal is worn off. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. And as it gets stronger, it becomes easier to stay focused, to work hard, to keep pushing towards your goals, even when faced with challenges or distractions. So how do you develop discipline? You start small. You set clear, specific goals for yourself. You create routines and habits that support those goals. And most importantly, you hold yourself accountable. Remember, nobody cares about your goals as much as you do. Nobody's going to force you to stick to your commitments. That's on you. You've got to be your own taskmaster, your own coach, your own biggest supporter. This might sound daunting, but it's actually incredibly empowering because it means that your success is in your hands. You're not at the mercy of others' approval or support. You have the power to shape your life, to create your own success through your consistent, disciplined efforts. Now let's talk about something that's crucial when you're focusing on your own growth and working hard, celebrating your progress. It's easy to get so caught up in reaching your goals that you forget to acknowledge how far you've come. But recognizing and celebrating your progress is vital for maintaining motivation and building confidence. Remember, growth is a journey. It's not about reaching a final destination, but about continually moving forward. Each step you take, each small victory you achieve is worth celebrating. Did you stick to your new habit for a week? Celebrate that. Did you learn a new skill? Celebrate that. Did you overcome a fear or challenge? Definitely celebrate that. These celebrations don't have to be grand gestures. It could be as simple as taking a moment to reflect on your progress, treating yourself to something you enjoy, or sharing your achievement with a supportive friend. The important thing is to acknowledge your efforts and the progress you're making. By celebrating your progress, you're reinforcing the positive behaviors that are leading to your growth. You're training your brain to associate hard work and focus with positive outcomes. And this, in turn, makes it easier to stay motivated and keep pushing forward. Now, I want to address something that many people struggle with when they start focusing on themselves and working hard, dealing with naysayers and negative influences. When you start making positive changes in your life, when you start pursuing your goals with dedication and focus, not everyone will be supportive. Some people might try to discourage you, to pull you back to your old ways. But here's what you need to remember. Their reaction says more about them than it does about you. Often, when people see others making positive changes, it holds up a mirror to their own lives. It makes them uncomfortable because it reminds them of the changes they're not making, the goals they're not pursuing. Your growth might also disrupt the dynamics in some of your relationships. People who are used to you being a certain way might resist the changes they see in you. They might try to keep you in the box they've always put you in. But here's the thing, you can't let other people's limitations become your own. You can't let their fears, their doubts, their negative attitudes hold you back from becoming the best version of yourself. This is where the nobody cares part of our message becomes particularly powerful. Because when you truly internalize that nobody cares, that you're not living your life for anyone else's approval or expectations, it becomes easier to brush off these negative influences. You realize that the only opinion about your life that truly matters is your own. You're not working hard and focusing on yourself to impress others or to meet their standards. You're doing it for you, for your growth, for your future, for the person you know you can become. This doesn't mean you have to cut people out of your life, although in some cases, distancing yourself from persistently negative influences might be copyright clause response was limited as it hit the maximum length allowed at this time, necessary for your growth. But it does mean setting boundaries. It means being selective about who you share your goals and dreams with. It means surrounding yourself as much as possible with people who support your growth, who encourage your efforts, who inspire you to keep pushing forward. Remember, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, so choose wisely. Seek out mentors, peers, and friends who are also committed to personal growth, who have goals and ambitions of their own. These are the people who will understand your journey, who will celebrate your successes, and who will support you through your challenges. Now, as we near the end of our discussion, I want to emphasize a crucial point. This journey of self-focus and hard work is not about reaching a final destination. It's not about arriving at some perfect state where all your problems are solved and you have nothing left to improve. Such a state doesn't exist. Instead, this journey is about continual growth, about always striving to be a little bit better today than you were yesterday. It's about embracing the process of becoming, of constantly evolving and improving. Because the truth is, there's no limit to how much you can grow, how much you can learn, how much you can achieve. And here's the beautiful thing, as you continue on this journey, as you keep working hard and focusing on your own growth, you'll find that your capacity for growth expands. What once seemed impossible becomes achievable. Goals you once thought were out of reach become stepping stones to even greater ambitions. But none of this happens by chance. It happens because you make the choice day after day to invest in yourself, to put in the work, to stay focused on your growth and your goals, regardless of what anyone else thinks or does. So I challenge you, starting today, make that choice. Choose to care about yourself, your growth, your potential. Choose to work hard, not for anyone else's approval, but for your own satisfaction and success. Choose to focus on becoming the best version of yourself, not because anyone else cares, but because you care. Remember, in the grand scheme of things, nobody cares, and that's okay. It's liberating. It means you're free to chart your own course, to define success on your own terms, to become whoever you want to be. So take that freedom and run with it. Work hard. Focus on you. And watch as you transform your life one day at a time. The power is in your hands. The choice is yours. What will you do with it?